86 Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays presented by State Farm. I'm Dave Lamont, along with multiple Olympic medalist Dwight Stones, the voice of track Larry Ralston, and our own Sean Adams, who has been a Texas Relay star in his own right. We thank you for joining us as part of our 18.5 hours of coverage of this great meet here in Austin at Mike Myers Stadium on the Texas campus. And there, 1/4 of a very fast team from LSU. Sienna Herbert. Also in this race, West Texas A&M, Ole Miss, UCLA, Louisiana Tech, and Southwest Christian. But I would imagine LSU has to be considered the favorite.
You think?
Just trying to be modest about it. I didn't want to overstate it there, Larry. But
well, I'd be interested to know what the bubble time is here, what you have to get under to guarantee yourself into the final. I would think getting under 3:38 is probably necessary. And let's put the disclaimer in here now. We probably should have done it before the very first heat. 4x400 relay is notorious for being the race, and I would say the worst race for coaches changing their mind at the absolute last second as to who's going to run in which order. So when we get this wrong, it's the best information that we have gotten from down close to the track. And only a couple of minutes need to go by for that to change.
So, you feel pretty strongly about it.
I absolutely do, and I always have. I know one thing. I would only run the anchor. I would tell those guys, if I'm running this thing, I'm anchoring. That's all, and get me a big lead.
I think we should get you another cup of coffee.
Now, no, I think maybe we should.
Two's my limit, and I'm at my limit.
So UCLA off to a good start in this one.
And a good meet so far for them.
UCLA was not one of the teams that qualified for the NCAA Indoor Championships on the women's side of the 4x400 relay. Down here with 70 members of that team, 35 men, 35 women, 20 staff. They're really very serious about this trip down to Texas this year, as have many other Pac-12 teams. And seeing as the SEC and Pac-12 are the two best track and field conferences in the country, arguably.
Would the Big 12 have anything to say about that?
They would have, in certain events, they certainly would. But when you look at the NCAA placings as teams, it's usually SEC and Pac-12.
In this case, it's Pac-12 and SEC, with LSU opening up a big lead behind Nikita Tracy, and she'll hand it off to Montine Spate.
Turquoise Thompson gave UCLA a nice advantage on her late 53.4 for the opener for her.
I remember when she was running 300-meter hurdles at Long Beach Poly. Didn't seem like it was that long ago. I believe she's finally a senior.
One of the ultimate track powers in the country,
yeah,
right?
Always.
So LSU performing as expected, but as Dwight mentioned, to remind all of you, top 9 make it. LSU on cruise control at the moment.
Right. This may not be the final relay team that they run. This is similar to the Olympic Games, where you can substitute to get to the final, and then you can put your best talent in the final if you wish.
And for UCLA, the number on that athlete, not on my list.
And that is Natoya Gould, the outstanding 800-meter NCAA champion indoors, anchoring for LSU and comfortably in the lead.
Lori Femmel, a freshman, running the anchor leg for UCLA.
Montine Spite for LSU ran 53.7, so they're cruising out there somewhere in the neighborhood of 3:36 or so. We'll see what Gould turns in for a time.
Gould having an outstanding NCAA indoor championship run. Really upgraded from the 2 weeks previous with the SEC championships.
Down the stretch for Gould.
LSU with 80 meters to go.
The clock is the issue here.
Well, I'll say it still is.
Indeed.
A lot of cluster there, eh?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not so certain about that time being an absolute